If you cook outside, besides your grill, nothing is more important than a good thermometer. In this video, we'll look at a dual probe wireless model from ThermoPro. As we get started, thanks for watching this Gadget Talk channel video. On this channel, we do reviews and how-tos on a variety of electronic gadgets that catch my eye. If you find this video helpful, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the Gadget Talk channel. Over the years, I've enjoyed using a variety of grills to cook outside. All of them have been direct heat grills. Some were charcoal, others were propane, and I'd use a small meat thermometer to check internal temperatures. I recently got a pellet grill smoker that uses indirect heat for slower cooking. One of the first things I added to my grilling toolbox was a dual probe wireless thermometer. When doing low and slow outdoor cooking, cooking to temperature is a big deal. There are just too many variables to rely on cooking time alone. With that in mind, I went looking for a dual probe thermometer that had a wireless component so I could take the receiver with me into the house and still keep track of the cook's progress. After watching some videos and reading several reviews, I narrowed my search and ultimately settled on the ThermoPro TP-20B. The ThermoPro TP-20 has been available on Amazon since 2016. When looking at the sales page, I saw a red version and noticed the description called it the TP-20B, which had only been available since 2020. It was on a lightning sale, so I snapped it up. I'm not totally sure what's different between this one and the TP-20, other than the red protective sleeve, but I did notice some of the things that were criticized by some of the original TP-20 reviewers seem to have been fixed. Let's take a look at what comes in the box and how the controls work. So here's the box that the ThermoPro TP-20B comes in. It's a pretty plain box, but it got it here in good shape. So let's take a look at what we find inside. The first thing we'll talk about are the probes that come with this thermometer. It comes with two probes. That means you can record the temperature of two different cooking items, or when using the little grill clip, you can put the probe through the clip and then clip it to the grill, and you can have a good reading of what the temperature is inside your grill. And I use this to compare with the built-in thermometer in the grill, and they both prove to be very similar in their temperatures. Being a little off really isn't a big deal since they're in different parts of the grill. So that's one of the real handy things about this set. The other thing are these grill winders, and so you can see that the probe comes out of the winder, and then when you're ready to put it back, you can snap the plug side in here and then move this fairly tightly so that you can get enough here to snap this baby in there. And then, as you can see, it comes with two identical probes. Now, this is the transmitter for the device, and I've got the batteries that are included in this set in. It has a nice little soft red silicone kind of sleeve around it to give it some protection. And then, so to turn this on, you just press the on-off button. It comes on. You can set the light on the backlight here. And so that's how that, and then you can press the buttons here also to change between Fahrenheit and centigrade. Let me turn that off, and then I'll set all of this up with the probes out and for us to see what this works all together. One of the things I want to point out on the back of the transmitter side is this little clip. And so here it's got a wide clip, and so you could hang it over the handle of a shelf out there on the grill, or even inside if you were working near your oven. And then what's really cool is that you can rotate this around, and then you can hook it on something narrow like the edge of the pellet hopper. And so you can have a wide connection or a tight connection, and the way you use it is simply spin it around. So that's pretty handy. On this side, you've got the plugs for temperature probe 1 and temperature probe 2. The receiver part of this device is this larger part, and on the front you can see it's got a number of displays. We'll just turn it on here real quick. So in the top you can set the program modes. You can set the temperature for temperature probe 1 and temperature probe 2, and you're going to use these various buttons to control the device. We'll take a look at those here when we get this all set up in just a second. On the back, there's the battery hatch right there. It's got a screw type hole that you could hang this on if you needed to, as well as just using a little table stand here to hold this up for you to see if you're working in the kitchen while your grill is happening out on the back patio. So let me take a moment and hook all this stuff up, and we'll work through the menus. So as you can see here, I have my probes connected to the transmitter. The instructions that come with the kit are pretty clear, and they're going to describe everything I'm going to be talking with you about now. So we've got the probes plugged in. I'm up here in the room, so it's measuring room temperature, which shows 80 degrees here in the room where I'm at. And then you can see over here that I've got the 80 degrees reflected for both probe 1 and probe 2 over here. So let me move this toward the center and zoom in on it a bit. Now the transmitter for this uses radio frequency. It's not Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, and the instructions say it's about a 0.8 milliwatt transmitter, so it's not going to transmit very far, but I've been able to read throughout my house the transmitter's signal going here into the receiver, and it should be able to work in even a fairly large backyard. So here we've got the on-off switch. We pressed that before, and we've got this display. In the mode, it's going to change here, and the mode is going to change with the probe that you have identified. So let's press the mode button real quick. So here we moved into timer. Timer can be set to either 99 minutes and 59 seconds, or it can be set to 99 hours and 59 minutes. So that can give you timer control over a very long cook. So now we've got probe 1 selected, and that's the upper probe. And so in doing this, then we can make rotation through the menus here by using the meat button. So I can press get ground beef, ground poultry, beef, veal, chicken, pork, poultry, lamb, fish, the usual things. And the way we are going to do that then is we can set the temperature one of two ways. One is we can go to the taste button here. So we've got beef, and you can see it says medium right there. We can rotate to medium well, well done, rare, medium rare, and then back to medium. And those are going to use the temperatures recommended by the USDA. The other thing then we can do, if we don't want to use those preset temperatures, or if you're setting your smoker up for an intermediate temperature when you're going to change either the temperature in the smoker or when you need to wrap or baste something, is you can use these arrow buttons to make a change. And so right now we've got beef selected, medium. That temperature for probe 1 is set for 150, but if you wanted to make that, say, 135, we can press the down button. Notice that this changed to the program choice, the custom choice, automatically, and then you can drop this down to whatever temperature that you want it to be. Now, you remember when we went through this, that program was one of the choices. So if you know you're going to customize the temperature, just start with program. But you can access individual degrees from the meat choice, regardless of what that meat choice is. So we'll press the mode button again, and now you see up here it says it's moved to probe 2, and that is the lower one. And then I can make changes here. Now this is left over from last night when I was doing some ribs, and so I had probe 2 on the grill clip just to monitor the temperature inside my grill. And because I didn't want the alarm to be going off, I had it set for 240, but what I'm looking for there was the actual temperature at which I was smoking the ribs. But in this probe here, you've got the same choices. You can go to all of those same ones we just looked at. If you were going to be doing pork, you can make the choices here to use those USDA frequencies, and you can see that they are programmed right here. And if you need to, as we did with probe 1, you wanted to make that a little higher, you could use the up arrow to make the choice a little higher. Noticed again this moved automatically to the program setting on the device. Here you can turn on the light, and you can change between Fahrenheit and Celsius. Here we have a couple of other little things here in the middle that you can work with. So let's move to our timer choice. So here in the middle then we can make settings to our timer. This is in a count up mode if we just press it. And then when you press it again, it'll stop, and then you can start it again. A long press will clear it. And then you can set the mode if you want to do a countdown timer, in which case we can press the up button. You can see that the minutes started to flash, so we can add minutes. And then we can press this middle button again, and the seconds button started to flash. You can add a few seconds there. You can go up 1 second at a time or hold it down and move through it quickly. And then we'll start the timer, and it'll start to count down to whatever it is you're timing. And then when you get to the end of that timer setting, the alarm will go off, and it just is a fairly loud beep. So those are the key points here in this ThermoPro receiver unit. Here's a clip of the TP-20B in action with my Pit Boss 850 pellet grill while smoking a pork butt for some pulled pork. So here you can see the TP-20G hooked up here on my Pit Boss smoker. I'm smoking a pork shoulder now. We're going to do some pulled pork here. And you can see there then I have some temperatures selected, so I'm in programming mode for both the temp probe number 1 and temp probe number 2. And so temp probe number 1 shows the current temperature of the meat, 114 degrees. It's a little bit different than the number down here on the controller. I'm going to be moving those probes around to see. It's been different the whole time, so I suspect I have one of the probes maybe closer to the bone than the other. And then back to the top, you can see I've got about 228 degrees in the smoker. You'll see where I have that probe. The probe for the smoker's thermometer is on the left side, and I've got this one positioned on the right side so that I can get kind of a sense of what the average temperature there is in the smoke pit itself. The transmitter is right down here. You can see both of the wires connected to that. You can read the temperature that it's reading easily there, and so that works out pretty well. And then I'm using the wide hook to hook it over the pellet hopper. So that makes for a really compact and very nice out of the way position for that. So let's take a look inside the smoker real quick, so I don't let all the heat out of this as it's cooking. But you'll see that I've got 3 wires. The 2 are from the ThermoPro, and then 1 is from the cooker itself. So let's take a look inside. So there's a look at my pork butt. You can see in the back is where I have the little grill clip there with the sensor giving me temperature on the left side of the pit. The temperature for the grill controller is on the left side there. So I've got left side grill controller, right side TP20, and then you can see I've got a couple of the probes into the meat itself. So that's enough of that. We don't want the temperature escaping. To my point is, you can see that the temperature on this went down about 20 degrees just in that 20-30 seconds that I had the gate open. But it'll fire back up, and I'm going to leave it closed now. But there you can see a way to use the TP-20G. The handy thing is I can take this part here with me over to the patio table if I'm sitting out over there, or back into the house if I've got some more preparations to do. Now the last thing I'm going to show you is the sold separately case for the TP-20B. When I bought the TP-20, it was had a discount on the case, and I really like to keep my small electronics protected. They're just so easy to break, and this case was a reasonably priced alternative. As you can see, it's got the logo on the front and a handle up here, but inside it fits everything really nice. In the top of the lid here, I slid the instructions, so I always have them with me. And then the device itself fits in with the transmitter, the receiver, a probe winder on each side of the cutout here, and then the little grill clip fits right there on the top. So it all fits in there. There's nice soft foam, so it's going to give it some protection while it's, in the case with the rest of my barbecue stuff, or if I'm moving it around. So the case for me was a worthwhile investment. It's really pretty nice, and so if you're considering the TP-20, you may want to consider spending a couple extra bucks and get the case. I haven't had this very long, so I can't talk about longevity, but it feels solid, and the red soft silicone sleeve that the device is surrounded by would seem to provide some drop protection. The little reversible clip on the transmitter is a clever idea and will allow you to hang it on either a thick or a thin edge. I think I'd prefer a magnet, but the hook works fine. I also really like the probe winders that should help protect the probes. With these types of thermometers, the probes are often the weakest point. Many of the brands I looked at had negative comments about probe failures. The good news is that the TP-20 replacement probes are available and reasonably priced. You have to wind the probe cables fairly snug to have enough left to slide the probe into the snap that holds the probe. I'm a bit obsessed about protective cases for my small electronic gadgets. ThermoPro has a branded case for this thermometer that had a discount when purchasing it with the TP-20B, so I got that one. As you saw in the overview, the device and accessories all fit in the case, and it provides good protection when you're not using the thermometer. I found some generic cases on Amazon too, but the branded case was reasonably priced and everything fits safely and snugly in place. As you saw in the cooking clip, the grill clip allows you to monitor the interior temps so you can compare with your grill's built-in temperature display. Heat across the smoker can vary, so having two readings can help you understand how your cook is progressing. I've used this several times now, and so far I'm pleased with the ThermoPro 20B. Readings have been close to the other thermometers I've compared it to. Hey, if you found this video helpful, please subscribe to the Gadget Talk channel and click the bell icon to be notified when I post new videos. Thanks for watching.